All right, guys, number 10. Again, the link for this packet is posted below. And if you wouldn't mind subscribing, it would really help me out and let everybody know. Thanks so much. Let's get started. Okay, the area of a right triangle is 24. So we know 1/2 base times height equals 24. And its hypotenuse is 10 and one leg is 8. So let's say 10 and 8. Okay, so you can do this problem one of two ways. You can either work it out using this. Oh, and what is the perimeter? Sorry, so we need this third leg because to find the perimeter, you just add all the sides together. Okay, so we can do this one of two ways. We can use this formula, or we can use a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So first let's do it this way, okay? We know the base, so we need the height. So let's fill in our base. Okay, 1/2 of 8 is 4. And then divide both sides by 4. So we get 6. So if we add all of these together, 18 plus 6, 24. Okay, now this way, it'll be a squared plus b squared equals c squared. A squared plus 64 equals 100. Subtract 64 from both sides, we get a squared equals 36. And then square root both sides, we get 6. And then add it all together, 24. So whichever way you are most comfortable with is completely fine. If t equals 7, what is the area? Okay, so if t equals 7, that means 2t, so this side is 14. 10t, this side is 70. So what is the area? So 1/2 base, 14, times height, 70. So 1/2 of 14 is 7. And 7 times 70, 490. If the equilateral triangle QRS below is cut into 9 equilateral triangles of equal area, what is the length of a side of one of the smaller triangles? Well, we've got 1, 2, 3 here, so we just do 36 divided by 3, 12. What is the value of y in the figure below? All right, so if this angle is 36 and this angle is 3x and we have a 90 degree down here, we know that 180 equals 90 plus 36 plus 3x. Okay, so 180 equals 126 plus 3x. Subtract the 126 over. So we get 54 equals 3x, and then divide by 3. So 18 equals x. All right, so if we know that, we also know that this one is a right angle. So 180 equals x plus y plus 90. Okay, put this in for the x there. So 180 equals 108 plus y, and subtract the 108 over. So 72 equals y. A high school is 6 miles due south of a student's home. So let's call this home, 6 miles, high school. The city library is 8 miles due west of the high school. So 8 for library. How many miles away from the student's house is the library? Okay, well, we know that since this is due south and due west, we know that this is 90 degrees. Okay, so again, we've got another Pythagorean theorem. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared. 6 squared plus 8 squared equals x squared. So 36 plus 64 is equal to x squared. That equals 100. And then we're going to square root both sides. So 10 equals x. So our answer is 10 miles. Okay, so what is the what is the area of the triangle ADC below? So this triangle. Okay, so first we're going to have to find the area of the big triangle and then subtract the area of the small triangle. So first let's do the area of ABC. Okay, so first we need to know this other leg. So if we've got a right triangle with 13 and 5, we know that a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So 25 plus b squared equals 169. Subtract 25 from both sides, we get 144. And then square root both sides, we get 12. So the area of ABC is 1/2 the base, which is 5, times the height, which is 12. So the area of that is 6 times 5, so 30. Okay, now the area of ABD. All right, so first we need the no, we don't need the hypotenuse. We just need base and height. So 1/2 the base times the height, which gives us 2.5. Okay, so now in order to find the area of ADC, we take the big area minus the small area, and that gives us 27.5. Okay, in the figure below, what is the area of triangle TVS? So this triangle right in here. So what we need is the height, right? Because we have the base and the height is actually over here, okay? Because this height is going to match that height. So we do 1/2 base, which is 8x, times the height, x. So 1/2 of 8 is 4x times x, which gives us 4x squared. A square is inscribed in a circle with an area of 16 pi. What is the perimeter and the area of the square? Okay, so we have a circle, we have a square. Okay, so the circle has an area of 16 pi, okay, which we know the formula for area is pi r squared. Divide both sides by pi, so 16 equals r squared. Square root both sides, 4 equals r. So we know from the center of the circle out is 4. So what we need now is a side length, right? So we're going to use this to find our side length, okay? So we're going to make a little square or triangle here. We know that this is going to be 90 degrees, okay? So let's draw this out over here. We know this is 4. Now, since it's a square, we know that this angle is going to be 45 and this angle is 45, okay? Because we know that this is going to bisect the angle of 90 degrees. And if we recall the 45, 45, 90 triangles, we have side S, and then our hypotenuse is S root 2. Okay, so what we're going to do is set our formula equal to the length that we know and solve for S. So we're going to divide both sides by root 2. Okay, that goes away. And now we're going to have to rationalize this denominator. So times root 2 times root 2. So we get 4 root 2 over 2, which equals 2 root 2, right? So our side length here is 2 root 2, which means the entire side of our square is actually going to be 4 root 2. So to find the perimeter, we're just going to multiply our side length times 4 because that's how many sides we have. So perimeter is 4 times our side length, which equals 16 root 2. And then area of a square is just side squared. So 4 root 2 squared, so that equals 16 times 2, which equals 32. Okay, a triangle has side lengths of 25 and 10. What is the difference between the greatest and least possible integer value for the third side? Okay, so for the rules for this is any side of a triangle must be less than the sum of the other two sides and must be greater than the difference between the other two sides. Okay, so our third side must be less than the sum, so 25 plus 10, so 35. And the third side must be greater than the difference. So 25 minus 10, 15. So what is the difference between the greatest and the least possible integer value? Now, our initial instinct is to go 35 minus 15, but if we notice it doesn't have an equal to on here, okay? So it actually has to be 34 minus 16. Okay, and that answer is going to be 18. Okay, equilateral triangle with a perimeter of 18 is inscribed in a circle. What is the area of the circle? So first we have a circle with equilateral triangle. Excuse my drawing. So if we know if it's an equilateral triangle, we know that all three sides are congruent. And since the perimeter is 18, we know that each side is 6. Okay, so what is the area of the circle? Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is draw on a radius. Okay, and then from there we're going to pull another leg down, and now you'll see we've got a right triangle. Okay, the other thing that we know about equilateral triangles is that all these angles are equal. So 180 divided by 3, 60. And then if we draw the radius in, it's going to bisect that angle. Okay, so now we have a 30, 60, 90 triangle where 30 is here, 60 is here. And if we recall the formula for that, the shortest side is S, the hypotenuse is 2S, and the long leg is S root 3. Okay, so let's redraw that triangle with what we know. We know this is 30, this is 60, and this side right here is going to be half, or sorry, this side right here is going to be half this whole distance. So that's 3. We know that the formula for that leg is S times root 3, so we're going to set it equal to each other and solve for S. So we're going to divide both sides by root 3. And we have to rationalize that as well. So times root 3 times root 3. So we get 3 root 3 over 3, which is just equal to root 3. All right, so now we have our shortest leg here is root 3, and therefore our hypotenuse, which is also the radius, is 2 times root 3. All right, and now we can find the area of our circle. So area equals pi r squared. So that's pi 2 root 3 squared. Pi times 4, because we're going to square the 2. And then when we square the root 3, that just becomes 3. So our answer is 12 pi.